Hi, this is LJ and BB coming back for our third episode of Hindsight Hurts. Today we're going to discuss a little more of triggering emotions, memories that trigger us to think back and, make us laugh, smile, cry, all the above. For me, it was just not that long ago that I remembered my nephew's giggle. And this is a grown man, but even as an infant, as a baby, it's like his whole life I've always remembered his little giggle. It was unique and always made me giggle too and smile. And it's just something that I've always remembered about him, and I still hear it all the time. And anyway, BB wants to go into some of the triggering emotions that she's having. Um, Memories, feelings, simple things that may pop up that make her think um, of a special something or another, whether it's silly or fun or in depth or whatever. And I'm going to turn it over to BB to try and go through some of this stuff now with you guys.
Okay, and once again, before I get started, we just want to go through and state that if you're having suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations, please, please, please call 988 for support and whatever they can offer. I don't know exactly what all they offer, but I know these are professionally trained people that will be able to help you and give you the support that you need since we are not professionals. We're just trying to share our story so that anybody who might be feeling the effects of someone who's taken their life, that they will know that they're not alone and that they're not crazy. And we just want to share our story of what happened with us. So, different things trigger me, my emotions. There's not a day that goes by that I do not think about my son. I think about him off and on all day long. I don't cry every day now because it's been almost 6 months since he passed, but I do think about him every single day. And some of the silliest, craziest things make me think about him and will bring emotions to the surface that just doesn't seem to make sense at the time. Um, Things that trigger me, something silly as toothpaste. When he was here staying with us, he didn't tell me for a few days or a week or so that the toothpaste he was using, he was allergic to and was causing problems with his gums. Well, he told me the name brand that he needed to use, and it's actually the same name brand that I use. So the other day, I was brushing my teeth and I was holding this toothpaste in my hand, and I just looked at it, and my immediate thought was of my son and how he needed this toothpaste. Water bottles. We recycle our water bottles, and we put them on a end table right by the front door. So when we go out the door, we can take it out and recycle it. Well, when he was here, and he was a smoker, unfortunately, but when he would go out to smoke, he would grab all the water bottles and take them out for us. And so a few days after he was gone, or a week or so, I looked over to the table and there was all these water bottles sitting there. And I thought, oh, he'll get them on his way out when he goes out to smoke. And then it hit me then that he was no longer here to do that. And then even something as silly as getting gas with my credit card and using my zip code. One of the times that he came home, flew up there, and we drove home together, and we were getting gas, and the machine asked if we wanted to put in the zip code. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, definitely for security reasons. So I put it in. And then months later, after he's gone, I was getting gas and I was putting in my zip code, and I realized that when it asked me if I wanted to, that was not a security thing because if someone had stolen my car, then obviously they wouldn't be putting in the zip code. But just the thought of that made triggered me to take me back to when we traveled home, that 16-hour trip that we were together, talking, laughing, driving, trying not to fall asleep. And just it was a good few days that we got to spend together, just he and I together driving. Songs, of course. One of the songs that we played at his service, our church has played it several times since then. And every time that song is played, I just stand there and cry and cry. And the words are so beautiful. And then there's another song that wasn't played at his service, but it's another beautiful song. And the first few words just break my heart every time I hear them. And of course, pictures. See a picture of him up on the wall, or something may come up on my phone, in my Facebook memories. There's just so many things that sometimes pictures pop up that just take me back to when he was laughing, like LJ said, when he would laugh or make a joke. He was big on crazy dad jokes, silly dad jokes. So every time I see a silly dad joke on Facebook or something, my immediate thought is to tag him and say, "Hey, listen to this joke." But then it hits me that he's not here for me to tag him on that anymore. Um, some of the emotions or feelings that I have are I feel crazy sometimes that I can't get thoughts together or put two words together. During the first week of his death, confusion, sadness, devastation, hurt, upset. I felt like my world was upside down. Nothing at all made sense during that time. And there are days today that it still doesn't make sense. And like I stated, I think in the first episode, when I was away, all I wanted to do was come home. And then now that I'm home, sometimes I just want to go away. I don't want to be at home. And to me, that just doesn't make sense. And it makes me feel like I'm losing my mind or that I'm crazy. Things that upset me the most, that bring me the greatest heartache, is when it hits me that I will never see him again this side of heaven. Sometimes that just hits me right in the face, and I have to stop and breathe and think about it and realize that I will see him again. And because sometimes it feels like he's not really gone, that I guess because he lived out of state for so long that it just seems like he's still around, but it'll hit me and it'll hit me that he is actually gone. And I sometimes I think we haven't wrapped our minds around that completely. I don't know that we ever will. I really don't. Um, I think about his children, and he has two daughters, and I think about when they start dating or go to a prom or even their wedding. It really hurts my heart to think about that he won't be here to celebrate and share and all of that, and be here for them to vet out the future husbands that they may have someday. And his two sons, they would call him, especially one of them would call him when he had a mechanical issue or needed some help working on a car or something like that. I think about that a lot too, that he's not here to any longer help him with that. And even something as silly as when my husband is working on something, he may ask me to Google up something to try to find out how to do it or get information on it. And our son was really good at that. My husband would say, "Hey, look this up," and he would look it up and find answers within a matter of a few minutes. And it takes me 30 minutes or so sometimes just to try to find the right information. And I think about that a lot. Almost every time that I go to Google something for my husband, I think of that. I think of my son because of him, of being able to do that and give my husband the help that he needs and stuff. And when I help my husband outside, I'm nowhere near as good as knowing what he needs and knowing what tool he's talking about, or being able to read his mind and know what his next thought is that he needs to do, or moving something a certain way, or just trying to help him in general. And our son was really good at that, because I guess it's because of him being a male. I don't know, but he could almost read his dad's mind and know exactly what step to take next or what they needed to do next and stuff. So those kinds of things just trigger me and make me think. And something as simple as hearing or thinking about something that was said. I'm not going to go into any details, but I was playing racquetball with a friend the other day, and we were laughing and having a really good time. And then a thought came to my mind. Like I said, I'm not going to share what it was, but it was all I could do not to break down and and crumble up in tears. I had to really work hard to get that emotion under control. There was no rhyme or reason for it. It just hit me. There was nothing I could do about it. I just had to work through it. And sometimes it feels like people move on, which I mean they do, because obviously this didn't happen to them, but it affected a lot of people. And I know it affected all of our family members. I know it affected some of the people at church that were close to him or were trying to help him or working with him and spending time with him and stuff. And it affected them. And but I know everyone has a life and everyone moves on, and I totally understand that. But I sometimes it just feels like that he's been forgotten by others. And to know when they see us and they remember, and then they come and they talk to us and they're still praying for us and everything, and I appreciate that. But I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes it just feels like that he's just been forgotten by everyone but us. And I know that's not true, especially when people come up and talk to us, or every now and then someone will send me a random text, or I haven't gotten a card or anything in a while, but I was getting random cards here and there in the mail, and just it's so encouraging when you get those things. But in the meantime, I just feel like he's been forgotten by everyone but us. And again, I know that's not true, but it's just something that happens, I believe, while you're going through this kind of process. I also wanted to say that everyone has been affected differently by this, of course, and everyone has a different perspective of it. And the fact that my husband and I didn't know a lot of what was truly going on, I did get a text from a family member the other day with a couple of their hindsight moments, which revealed to me that other people might have known a little more about what was going on in his life than I did, or they got a different view or feel of things than I did. So I just wanted to make sure that I shared that it's not everything that we've been saying for these last few episodes are strictly my from my perspective, my point of view, my feelings, and everything like that. So I just wanted to make sure that we shared that before we move on. And again, before we close out, I wanted to give the number again. Again, please, if you're having suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations, please call 988. Please reach out for help.
Okay, if it's not as serious as needing to contact, a hotline where professionals can help you, because if that's the case, please do so. But we're here to just share our stories. We would love to hear what you guys have to say. We would love to hear if there are issues in your own life or family members or grieving process that you're going through or hindsight memories that are triggering. We would love to hear your stories. They can be shared, they don't have to be shared. It is just an open forum. You can email us at hindsighthurts@mail.com. And this latest episode will be Tuesday, and we will be releasing new episodes every Tuesday. And also, you can go on the YouTube to find this at Hindsight Hurts. And like I said, the mail is email. Email us with anything you have to say, good, bad, ugly, crying, doesn't matter. Happy stories, we will take them all. And that's hindsighthurts@mail.com. And we also have a Facebook page at Hindsight Hurts. So please feel free to share your stories. And in weeks to come, we are going to have some family members that are going to be guest speakers that are going to tell us a little bit about the way they are hurting and some of the hindsight memories they have to share. So you're going to get a little bit of insight of other perspectives and what other family members are going through as well. So we look forward to seeing you guys or hearing you guys next week, and I hope you tune in. Thank you.
Thank you.